As much as I want to listen to the theme song of Votes 5, I need to cut it off to present you the incident response policy proposal. Hello everyone, I am R. Domingo and today I will be talking about a policy designed to help Votes 5 organization to effectively detect, respond to, and recover from cybersecurity incidents. Throughout this presentation, I will explain the importance of incident response, the structure of the policy, and how it can be implemented successfully. For today's agenda, I will be talking about growing threat landscape, why incident response matters, incident response phases, roles and responsibilities, implementation strategy, policy controls, control testing, and finally the benefits of the policy. Cyber threats are increasing every year, affecting organizations of all sizes. These attacks can result in data loss, financial damage, and harm to reputation. Without a proper response plan, Voltes 5 organization may struggle to recover quickly. This is why having a structured incident response policy is critical. Incident response is important because it minimizes the impact of security incidents. It helps organizations maintain operations and protect sensitive data. A well prepared organization can respond quickly and reduce downtime. The proposed policy provides a structured framework for handling incidents. It defines roles and responsibilities and outlines clear procedures for responding to incidents. This ensures consistency and efficiency during high pressure situations. The incident response life cycle consists of 6 phases, starting with preparation, which involves planning and training, identification, which detects incidents, containment, that limits damage, eradication removes threats, recovery restores systems, and finally, lesson learned, which improve future responses. During the preparation phase, organizations establish their incident response team, train employees, and deploy necessary tools such as monitoring systems. This phase is critical because it ensures readiness before incident occur. In this phase, organizations identify potential incidents through monitoring systems or reports. Once detected, incidents are analyzed and classified based on severity to determine the appropriate response. For example, a phishing email reported by an employee. The containment phase focuses on limiting the damage. Affected systems may be isolated to prevent the spread of malware or unauthorized access. For example, isolating an infected system. During eradication, the root cause of the incident is removed. This may involve deleting malware, closing vulnerabilities, and ensuring systems are secure. In the recovery phase, systems are restored to normal operations using backups. Organizations also monitor systems closely to ensure no further issues arise. After the incident, organizations conduct a review to identify what went well and what needs improvement. This helps strengthen future responses and update policies. Different stakeholders play important roles. Employees report incidents, the IT team investigates, the incident response team manages the process, management provides oversight and communication. To implement the policy, organizations must train employees, deploy monitoring tools, establish clear processes for reporting and responding to incidents, and conduct regular simulation exercises. Policy controls ensure enforcement. This include monitoring systems, multi-factor authentication, logging mechanisms, and access control systems. Control testing ensures effectiveness. Organizations conduct audits, simulations, and penetration testing to validate their incident response capabilities. The policy improves response times, reduces damage, and enhances overall security posture. It also helps organizations meet compliance requirements. In conclusion, implementing an incident response policy is essential for modern organizations. It strengthens security, ensures preparedness, and helps organizations respond effectively to cyber threat. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.